Around the world, we are facing a multitude of environmental problems, from the climate crisis to biodiversity loss and plastic pollution. In a world full of crises, how can we educate future communication professionals to not only talk about sustainability, but become real agents of change? In my research at WU Vienna, I focus on sustainability communication. In other words, how we talk in communication of, about, and for sustainability. My name is Franzisca Weder, and I'm a professor at the Institute for Strategic Organizational Communication at WU. I studied journalism and worked in PR. I saw how more and more organizations, especially big corporations, began to communicate about their responsibility to meet stakeholder and shareholder expectations. But then the principle of sustainability started to enter the picture, and sustainability is so much more than just another topic to be addressed. Sustainability communication is about creating moments that unsettle, that provoke reflection and spark debate. In a world full of crises, we need to talk about sustainability. We really do. Sustainability is everywhere. Politicians debate climate action, companies report on their sustainability efforts, and consumers face a jungle of sustainability labels and product information. Sustainability communication isn't just transmitting information from a sender to a receiver. When we rethink established patterns, including how we teach, we need to create spaces for dialogue and imagination. Sometimes that means using new, unorthodox methods. For example, together with my students, I designed an intervention project. For 2 weeks, we collected used plastic bottles and waste and piled it up in front of the university. Everyone entering the building on this day of action was invited to pick up a piece of waste again and throw it into a transparent wall installed in the entrance hall. This project aimed to challenge the out of sight, out of mind mindset and spark conversations about our everyday waste behavior. The question is, have educational institutions like universities embraced such unorthodox approaches as form of transformative education yet? And what are the barriers to and opportunities for such unorthodox teaching? To explore these questions, one of our master's students and I started a systematic literature review, accompanied by a quantitative and qualitative analysis of bachelor and master's programs across the globe. We found that sustainability is indeed covered by many higher education institutions, but often only in single courses, modules, or electives, and usually taught from a business or management perspective. Mostly, sustainability is treated as just another topic, another issue. Looking at the sustainability education literature, professional communication perspectives are largely absent. Sustainability professionals learn about environmental and social issues, but they don't learn the communication skills they need to engage others, to crack existing behavioral patterns, to spark conversations, and to drive change. On the other hand, professional communication education has not yet fully integrated education for sustainability and transformative learning, and vice versa. Sustainability remains an add-on topic, and it is not recognized as what it is, a guiding principle for how we communicate, and thus how we teach communication. But there is hope. In what we call sustainability learning, communication is seen as a process of breaking up rigid structures and creating new meaning together. For example, developing new, alternative narratives of sustainability. Through teaching narrative agency, students don't just develop competences, they build agency, communicative agency that allows them to connect to others and inspire people to explore different, also critical ways of speaking and thinking about sustainability. The question is, what does it take to make such unorthodox teaching work in practice, and What are the obstacles teachers and students face in professional communication education? To find the answers, we conducted a series of reconstruction interviews with educators and students involved in sustainability-related communication programs across different countries, from Austria to Australia to China. In these interviews, we asked participants to reflect on their teaching and learning experiences. The results confirmed what I'm experiencing myself. Across all contexts, we found that sustainability is still taught largely through a business lens in higher education, and that it's often reduced to technical solutions or a way of improving efficiency, when instead it should be treated as a fundamental shift in how we think and act. Also, institutional cash-for-service structures can be barriers to more participatory, co-creational and potentially unorthodox teaching. What's more, in some cultural contexts we see that strong hierarchies make it difficult to break up traditional teacher-student roles and start an open dialogue among students or between students and teachers. Yet there was broad agreement among the participants: education has to change radically. Universities are key sites of change. They need to become open, conversational spaces where established concepts are questioned and creativity, reflection, and experiential learning are fostered.